Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. There has been a data mine for 2XKO. If you don't know the terminology, basically people can peek inside the game files and kind of figure out what's going on. Now on the channel, we've covered many data mines over the years, and this isn't as salacious as some of them. No, every single character on the roster hasn't been leaked or something like that, or like we now know years and years of content ahead of schedule. But there's some nice little hints at what might be going on in 2XKO. So this news comes to us by way of one Twisted35 over on Twitter. So make sure to check him out, and I'll post the original tweet in the video description as well. So what exactly was found in the game files that's, the root cause of this video? Well, what was found was archetypes. Basically, as far as the game's files are concerned, every character has a set archetype, and there's a lot more archetypes than there is playable characters in the game right now. In the current beta, we have 6 playable characters, and for archetypes, we have 12 total archetypes. And it's not even like one character per archetype. Actually, the beta has some doubling up on these archetypes as well. So what exactly are the archetypes that are in the game files? Like the character classes, if you will. We have All-Rounder, Assist, Bruiser, Grappler, High Mobility, Mix-Up, Rushdown, Short Range, Striker, Technical, Trap, and Zoner. So yes, these are effectively just, fighting game archetypes, less like League of Legends stuff. Like Grappler, very much a fighting game term, right? Now the thing here is you can actually see some of these, not all of these, but some of these in the beta live right now. Like if we go into the main menus, right, and go to the champion screen, say Yasuo, we pick him, right? We can find that same icon. He is an all-rounder. So it's all here already. Just in the files, we got a bit more. So Yasuo is an all-rounder. Alawi is a bruiser. Echo is an all-rounder as well. Darius is a striker. Braum is a bruiser. And Ari is rushdown. And for the most part, hey, fair enough, right? These are all kind of, applicable here. Alawi, bruiser, yeah, you betcha, right? Darius striker, he's like Mr. King normals, right? Big fan of the neutral. So yeah, Darius makes sense. Ari rushdown, yeah, she gets in and smothers you to death. All makes sense. So we have these kind of as our baselines. We can take that archetype and apply it to, the various League of Legends characters. The one thing that is a bit odd is Braum is not listed as Grappler. Grappler is one of our icons. And Braum, he can chuck you pretty good. Like Braum, he has his grab. And, as long as you're aware and you're in the right situation, he can really lay the hurt on you. So, considering, this off a command grab, yes, it's an extended combo, but it's only possible because of the command grab. And it does pretty alright damage if you have the resources to burn, right? So he's not considered a grappler, right? So Braum's not considered a grappler. What's a grappler in this game gonna look like? It could be like the grappler, it's easier for them to get grabs, but they don't necessarily get a combo opportunity after the fact. Maybe it could work like that. I don't know, because Braum definitely gets, with the right setup, combos for days. But the fact that that's not considered a grappler in this game, as a grappler fan, makes me really wonder, really inflames the imagination. So now that we know that, let's look back at these archetypes again. So some of these, all-rounder, bruiser, we've seen this now in the character menus, makes sense enough. But some of these makes you think, oh, wait a second, what's going on here? Like some of these categories, assist, grappler, high mobility. Ari's not considered a high mobility character. She's just rushdown, right? Mix-up. Echo is not considered a mix-up character. He's an all-rounder. So if Echo is not a mix-up character, what's a mix-up character look like in this game? Same thing here, trap character. I guess we're going to have to talk about it, right? Something like Zoner. They already talked about reworking Jinx. Jinx, I'm certain, is going to be a Zoner. So let's work our way through some of these concepts, like assist. everyone has 2 assists. Like, every character has to have assists. It's the kind of game it is. So if you're labeled as assist, especially considering it's one of the base and core mechanics of the game, your assist kind of has to be messed up or like extra special, right? So maybe assist means something like Yumi, where she's kind of like dedicated assist character in League of Legends. She like attaches herself to the character, grants all sorts of various buffs. And maybe someone whose assist archetype is something like that. Less so much to the character itself and more just buffing the other point character. As for mechanics, who knows, but that's an idea if you want to really play around with it and just the various game mechanics. Now, what about grappler? I know everyone's always going to say, set. Oh my god, set has the grab, set has the grab. So set's got to be the grappler. And like, I guess, but you're thinking too small is what I'm thinking here. What about Tam Kench? Is not the ultimate grapple where he just puts you inside his stomach? Like, he's grabbing you, right? And he's grabbing you all the way to the bank. Tam Kench devouring people certainly could be a mechanic in a fighting game. What about someone like Blitzcrank? Like, almost the original League grappler, right? Like, reaching out and grabbing you? That could be a grappler archetype, I suppose. How about we think like a real hero and get our boy Skarner into the game? Skarner's all about shoving you around, grabbing you, right? He can do it. He can like smash you around real easy, right? It's kind of core part of the moveset. He can grab you something fierce. Skarner for 2xKO. Hashtag Skarner for 2xKO. Now, for some of the other ones, hey, like high mobility, just someone who's fast, I guess. I'm not as up to date on current League, but I remember Janna being pretty fast. So, I don't know, you can just pick anyone who's associated with speed, I guess. Same thing with mix-up. Mix-up, I feel you can let the game mechanics take over a bit more on that one than a specific character worrying about what they are. Because mix-up is going to be more about high, low, left, right. And that's not as, applicable inside the League mechanics as much anyways. Someone like Samira is destined to be in the game eventually, some way, somehow. So you just do that like for her, I guess. She's, if you're unaware, literally Dante. And Dante is well at home in versus style tag games. Let's put it that way, right? So she's a shoo-in eventually. Just make her whatever archetype. So then we have the short range archetype. We have Striker, and the listed Striker in the game is Darius. So Striker, I'm assuming, means you have very big normals, because Darius has very long range and fast for what they are normals and special moves. So short range, I guess you got no range. And short range to me screams Yordle, right? Like someone like Poppy. Very little, stubby arms, gonna have like no range. But whenever a short range archetype gets onto you, it's probably gonna be game over, I guess, because they have to work their way in. And Yordles, to me, kind of fit the bill pretty well on that. Now, granted, it could be a myriad of characters. Like, for example, say Katarina. We know Katarina's in the game after the discussions at EVO. And, shorter range dagger, short range show, whatever. But she also reads like a character to me that'll be like full of teleports and probably be like more mix up and pressure. I can see her being more rush down or mix up. But hey, who knows? But the idea makes sense, right? Character that probably struggles to get in, but once they get in, game over. Some of the other archetypes like Technical and Zoner. Zoner, I think it's just going to be Jinx. We already know Jinx is in the game. She has pistols, miniguns, and rocket launchers. She's going to be the Zoner. Safe bet. Technical could be anyone that's just like extra hard, extra gimmicky, just something outside of the norm, like say a puppet style character. I could see a puppet character being something like Kindred, I suppose, and puppet characters certainly fall under the realm of technical. Now, when it comes to the trap archetype, trap usually means trap zoner. Someone who's extra obnoxious, and there's one character that fits the bill, and that is Lord Teemo himself. Teemo, planting mushrooms, definitely would qualify as a trap itself. Harassing people with his blow darts, that would be the zoner part of things, right? There's actually quite a few characters that could fit the bill in League of Legends, but Teemo seems like the obvious choice. Now, the examples I'm tossing out here, admittedly, I'm just spitballing. I got no actual idea, just based on my knowledge of League of Legends and what they could do in a fighting game sense. That said, seems to fit to me. And of course, the archetypes as they're presented doesn't just mean one character per archetype. there's not really a way you can build out a whole roster. Who knows? Because we already have multiple archetypes represented in the same build right here. Like, you know, we have multiple bruisers, we have multiple all-rounders. Who's not to say we'll have like 7 mix-up characters in the end? Now, given the fact that they bothered to make these archetypes, I would have to assume they're going to use them, right? So at bare minimum then, I would say maybe a main roster would be bare minimum 14 characters. If we have 12 total archetypes, then we know within the context of the beta, they double up on Bruiser and All-Rounder. So we have 4 for those 2, and then 10 more. That equals 14 characters. But of course, that's awful math, to be realistic. Who actually knows? Because I sure don't. But the fact that they're just there, you'd have to assume there's going to be at least one character representing every archetype at some point down the line. Because otherwise, why do it? Now, granted, my knowledge of League of Legends memes is about well over a decade old at this point. But you know what? How about River Shen archetype? Let's go back to River Shen days. But hey, in the end, who actually knows? But this is where I'm going to toss it to you. I know you're looking at those archetypes. I know you got your favorite League of Legends character in mind with one of those archetypes, right? So what do you guys think? What characters could fit which archetypes, right? Let me know in the comments below, because I got my ideas, but my knowledge of modern League of Legends is very poor. I used to play back in the day, yes, when it was a very different kind of game. So people who are more up on modern League, let me know what's up. All that said, though, that is the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some 2XKO.